this is Ackley, SamAttack4427 here with, well, another special video for all of you guys, and, well, I guess, now normally I think with this kind of a topic for sure, to which, yes, by the way, we're actually talking about a trailer for, of course, a new movie for sure. Now, normally I think I would pretty much talk about trailers for sure, normally in my thoughts videos for sure. In fact, I actually did several times in the past for sure, but for this case, I decided not to do that with, of course, this one that I'm going to be talking about for sure, but instead, I'm actually going to go into sort of a bit of an analysis from what I can gather, as well as, of course, a bit of a rant on, of course, this subject matter for sure. And surprisingly enough, yeah, I guess with, of course, today's video that I'm going to be talking about for sure, it does revolve on, of course, a certain movie that's going to be coming out later this year that, I'm not going to lie, I am actually really excited for sure. So yeah, I did mention this several times in my videos for sure, literally since the past year for sure, but I think it's about time that this one pretty much deserves its own solo video for sure. So yeah, I think that's what I'll be talking about here today. So yeah, with that being said, I think it's about time that we pretty much get right into, of course, this subject matter in today's video, involving, of course, pretty much the latest movie that is coming out this fall, based on the iconic Broadway musical Wicked. Yes, you heard me, out, of course, that one. We're actually going to be talking about the movie adaptation of course, Wicked for sure. Now, you might be wondering, why am I talking about this now? Can't I just wait until the movie officially comes out for sure, just to give off my analysis on how I felt about it? Well, yeah, I think that would be the case for sure, and don't get me wrong, I'm still excited for when this movie will eventually come out for sure, but given to, of course, the recent news that we've actually got, especially with earlier today, with, of course, what we got involving the movie, and yes, by the way, I guess pretty much by the time I'm recording this, I just literally got off of work for today, So I was lucky enough to make it back home just in time to catch this for sure. So yeah, I guess I figure pretty much I would actually talk about this subject matter well ahead of course, what we're going to be talking about here today. So yeah, I think you can pretty much get the idea, of course, that front. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, if you may recall, right around earlier today, probably by the time I'm recording this video, pretty much Universal has officially dropped a brand new trailer for that said movie that'll be coming out for sure, and yeah, luckily enough, seeing how I did mention that I just got off of work today, probably by the time I'm recording this, I did manage to get myself logged in, and of course got to check out the trailer for, of course, this movie, and if you have seen my posts on social media, of course, my reaction to it by far, I'm not gonna lie, the trailer for, of course, this movie is actually pretty cool for sure. Yeah, I'm not even kidding when I actually say it. I think the latest trailer that we actually got for this movie for sure is actually pretty incredible from what I've actually seen. Everything flows out from, of course, what I've actually seen, pretty much being like the original stage musical for sure, and of course, visually the film looks great with some really impressive effects, and of course some great set pieces from what I can gather, and not to mention the acting from what I said, it's actually not that bad for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, based on, of course, on what I'm actually seeing, I do think the latest trailer that we actually got with, of course, pretty much this movie for sure, yeah, I guess from the looks of it, I think he actually does look pretty promising, and it is, of course, going to deliver on, of course, what we're actually going to be in for sure. So yeah, I guess needless to say that I think the latest trailer that we got for Wicked actually does look quite promising for sure. But I guess if anything, I guess that would lead to the ultimate question, and that being, of course, well, why it took us about 2 to 3 months to actually give us another trailer that actually does look quite promising. Well, I think bear this in mind for sure. I think pretty much we do know hands down that pretty much ever since the movie's announcement, almost to where we are right now, with of course with it being released for sure, or I guess in this case for this movie, soon to be released for sure. I guess there's no doubt in my mind that probably within a matter of time, as soon as the film gets closer and closer to its pretty much release date for sure, plenty of articles online would actually give us some new details on, of course, what we're actually going to be in for with of course the movie that'll be coming out. But I guess for the case of Wicked, ever since it actually first got announced not too long ago, all the way to, of course, what we've actually seen throughout most of last year while the movie is in production with all sorts of set pieces and stuff. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I think this movie might actually give us something actually quite interesting for sure. In fact, no, I guess it's actually no big surprise, of course, on that front, that actually has happened to a good number of movies leading up to their scheduled release dates for sure. Sometimes some last-minute casting decisions will actually be made that they actually kept in secret that we didn't actually knows about. Sometimes they would actually release a song to put into the soundtrack to help tie into, of course, the movie for sure, and all that sort of stuff for sure, and yeah, I think it's safe to say that sometimes new details and stuff that we would get with, of course, the movie for sure would actually be revealed almost to where we are gonna be with, of course, with the film being released for sure. So yeah, but I guess for the case of Wicked, we actually knew about it ever since cameras first started rolling, or even before cameras started rolling on this movie for sure, because yeah, quite frankly, if you know a Broadway fan like myself, for example, there's no doubt in my mind that for well over a couple of decades now, Wicked has, of course, been a massive staple to Broadway musicals in this recent century for sure. Or I guess in this case, for the past couple of years for sure, and even to this day, it's still being celebrated even to this day, not only being loved by many people who have actually seen it, both young and old for sure, and it is even to this day one of the longest running Broadway shows of all time. So yeah. I guess it's safe to say that the musical itself has, of course, still cemented itself in legendary status for sure, and even to this day, it's still one of the most well-known Broadway shows that you couldn't live without for sure. Even with me, of course, I know within the past decade, I did manage to catch the touring company of Wicked twice, for sure. The first time in 2010, and of course the second time back in 2012, for sure. And even to this day, regardless of course, my different experiences with it, I still think Wicked is, of course, a brilliantly well done Broadway show for sure, and I really do think they actually really gave us something good for sure. So yeah. I guess it's safe to say that everything about the original musical, from of course the story, the hang that is very easy to follow, to the show-stopping musical numbers that we all love, like, of course, Popular, Defying Gravity, Defying Gravity, and As Long As You're Mine, For Good, and that's just to name me a few for sure, and even the characters that we actually get to know for sure, and that's just to name me a few from what I can gather for sure. So yeah, I guess you can definitely see what I mean. Of course, Wicked still being celebrated as one of the most legendary Broadway shows, or one of the most well-known Broadway shows of all time for sure. So yeah, I guess it's safe to say, of course, that up front for sure, and a lot like everyone else, ever since I actually first saw the musical for sure, I actually did think to myself, yeah, maybe I think there is some good potential to actually turn this into a movie for sure, and not to mention, even go as far back as, of course, the producer of the musical, Mark Plaga, has been wanting to adapt Wicked into a movie ever since Universal got the film rights to the original Gregory Maguire book of the same name for sure. And that's long before the Broadway show actually got developed for sure. And trust me, if you have seen a documentary on YouTube about this Broadway musical for sure, you'll definitely know exactly what he's talking about for sure. So yeah, I guess it's safe to say that a lot like everyone else, I actually do think that there is a whole lot of potential, of course, Wicked being turned into a movie for sure, and well, I guess probably what got second back is probably, I guess, for numerous reasons for sure. Like, of course, maybe I think trying their best to adapt the story itself to make it work on the big screen for sure, or maybe, I guess, making the songs a little bit more cinematic, pretty much from what I can gather, or of course, much like the Broadway show, it will have to rely on a ton of special effects for sure, like not only some really, really great set pieces from what I can gather, but also very, very heavy on CGI for sure. So yeah, maybe I guess, if anything, there might be several obstacles on what's keeping us from waiting so long until the movie actually comes out for sure. So yeah, I think it's safe to say you can clearly see on why it's taken them over 20 years ever since the Broadway show first opened for sure to finally get the movie underway for sure. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that, given to what we saw in the trailers so far, I say on a visual level, the film actually does look really great for sure, and I can tell we're actually in for something incredible for sure ever since we got the first ever teaser trailer all the way back in February during this year's Super Bowl game that we got not too long ago for sure, and I already did discuss about pretty much the trailer for that, as well as, of course, all the other trailers that we actually got during the Super Bowl this year in its own video, so I do recommend checking that one out in case you haven't already. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I really do think from the first ever trailer, my point still stands that I do think there is actually something really good for sure, and again, on a visual level, it actually does look quite great. But however, if you actually look up the first ever teaser trailer on YouTube, you would definitely know that a lot of people are actually split down the middle on, of course, this one. I'm not even joking when I actually said it for sure. Yeah, you actually go and check out the first ever teaser trailer for, of course, this movie, and the like to dislike ratio looks like this. Yeah, literally split down the middle for sure. So yeah, I was actually really quite surprised. Of course, the like to dislike ratio when I first saw the teaser trailer for it on YouTube for sure. With of course a good number of people saying that they either think this movie is going to be amazing, or another side that a lot of people are saying that this movie is going to be terrible. Yeah, you definitely heard it right there. You have one side actually arguing, saying this movie's gonna be great, while on the other side you have a group of people saying this movie's going to be absolute garbage for sure. Yeah, with nobody, I mean nobody's saying that this movie is gonna be okay. And boy, I guess given to, of course, what I'm actually seeing. I mean, what is this? Pretty much, yeah, I think it actually got me confused for a second. I was like, wait, what is this? A repeat of a massive debate on whether or not you actually love or hate Barney the dinosaur? I mean, what's going on? So, but yeah, regardless of course, at that front, yeah, I was actually really quite shocked, based on, of course, the reactions to that being completely split down the middle for sure, and but I guess my point still stands for sure. I definitely am on the side on a lot of people saying that I do think this movie is actually going to be great for sure. And of course, with a lot of people on the other side saying, this movie is going to be terrible. Why do they have to do this movie to begin with? Well, to counteract, of course, that argument, I have to say, shut the fuck up. I mean, one can't even imagine going through a massive sea of bullshit to actually try to give us something great for sure. So yeah, you guys are actually pretty much the other side saying that this movie is going to be terrible for sure. So does that mean, are we apparently against pretty much movies based on Broadway musicals to begin with, or just movie musicals in general? Can we not have them exist anymore? That's interesting, because did I recall within the past few years we've actually got a good number of movie musicals that actually turned out great, and of course, did I forget to mention that this film is of course directed by John M. Chu, who of course gave us In the Heights, which is absolutely amazing. Kind of my point when you think about it, So, yeah, I guess it's probably what I could say, of course, that front for sure, so. But yeah, I guess needless to say, I was really shocked by the reactions that we actually got from the first ever teaser trailer that we actually got. But my point still stands that I do think this movie actually does look really great from what I can gather, and it is going to be pretty much going to give us something quite interesting that we know we're actually going to have a good time with for sure, and actually stay true to the original Broadway musical for sure, and luckily enough with what we got in the latest trailer that we got this time around. Yeah, I do think there is actually going to be something really great for sure, and yeah, you can tell pretty much not only visually the film actually looks great with, again, the really nice set pieces, and even the nice work with the CGI and stuff to make you look like you are in the land of Oz for sure, and of course, let's not forget to mention, seeing how pretty much it is a musical after all, we still again got a good glimpse of course, the pretty much the songs, of course, this movie that we know we're gonna get. Like, of course, much like in the teaser trailer, we did get a good glimpse of course, Defying Gravity for sure. But also, if you listen hard in the trailer, you'll definitely know that it is confirmed that we are going to get another well-known song in the musical, Popular, which, yeah, I have to say is actually really quite nice for sure, because, yeah, much like Defying Gravity, you can't do Wicked without the song Popular for sure, so yeah, and let's not forget to mention, based on, of course, what I actually heard, and we actually haven't got any, pretty much, a full-on sample of course, that Sega song for sure, but I guess for part of the instrumental bits within the middle of the trailer, we can actually confirm that the opening song, No One Mourns the Wicked, will actually be on there for sure, which I do have to say is actually quite nice for sure, so yeah, I think, given to all that, I do think, pretty much, yeah, I think this movie will actually give us something good in terms of its soundtrack for sure, to which I'm definitely looking forward to by the way, so hopefully I think the soundtrack will be as good as what we're gonna get for sure. And let's not forget to mention, we do know some Google confirmations on, of course, the good number of actors that are going to be pretty much going to be playing their roles for sure. Like, of course, we do know about Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, as well as, of course, Ariana Grande as Glinda, as well as, of course, plenty of others, like, of course, Jonathan Bailey as Fiero, Michelle Yeoh as Magamorable, and, of course, Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard for sure, So yeah, I think, if anything, that's just to name me a few for sure, and of course, let's not forget to mention, pretty much from what we've confirmed from CinemaCon right around last month, and it did drop the news from what I can gather, they did actually put in a, pretty much another last minute casting decision for sure, and that being, of course, Peter Dinklage is going to be in this movie, and of course, in case you're actually quite curious, he's actually going to be playing the GOAT professor at Shiz University, which is, of course, Dr. Dillamond, which, honestly, to me, I think it's actually quite nice for sure, because, yeah, honestly, I think, to me, I think there were, yeah, I know a lot of people were actually quite curious on whether or not Dr. Dillamond is actually going to be in the movie, or he'll be cut out entirely and be replaced with a completely different character exclusively for the movie for sure, so yeah, but thankfully from what I can gather, I think my best guess is that they actually want to keep it a secret and waiting for the right time to actually reveal it for sure, and I do think they actually really did I think they really pulled it off quite well, and to me, I think Peter Dinklage might actually portray Dr. Dillamond actually quite well for sure, and now you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Peter Dinklage in a musical? That's almost never unheard of. Well, honestly, to me, I think, yeah, part of me actually does want to be surprised by that, but of course, based on my research, I did look up, of course, Peter Dinklage singing for sure, and boy, despite him actually being a little person, yeah, not only I still think he's actually a really great actor, but I will acknowledge he is actually a really good singer for sure, so yeah, really quite amazed that an actual little person like Peter Dinklage can actually carry a tune for sure, and well, if you actually look at one movie musical that he did, which is of course Cyrano, which sadly I never actually saw when it first came out, but I heard actually really good things about it for sure. I guess if anything from what I've actually heard, he actually does carry a tune actually quite well for sure, so yeah, I think chances are he might actually pull it off with of course this movie for sure, and of course one other thing that I was kind of right on, of course, that front, because seeing how this is a big budget motion picture for sure, normally they can't actually have Peter Dinklage coming on set with, of course, the costume and the goat mask like in the stage show for sure, but if you actually look at the trailer, Dr. Dillamond is, of course, gonna be entirely CGI for sure, with, of course, Peter Dinklage providing the voice for sure, which I'm not gonna lie, I do think it is actually the best route by far, and based on what I've seen in the trailer, Dr. Dillamang actually doesn't look that bad for sure, with him entirely CGI'd and stuff for sure. I mean, granted, we only got a good glimpse of Dr. Dillamang, yeah, pretty much I got a good glimpse of Dr. Dillamang for about maybe 1-2 seconds, give or take. So we don't know on how his role is going to be when the movie comes out. So I think it's safe to say that we'll definitely have to wait and see, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, other than that, I think there's literally nothing much else from what I can gather for sure. So yeah. Honestly, to me, I really do think, based on what I've actually seen in the second trailer by far, yeah, my point still stands. I definitely do think there's a whole lot of potential, of course, this one for sure, and I think it is actually going to be something really great for sure, and trust me when I say this movie is all about bringing the iconic Broadway musical to not only a movie-going audience at long last, but also to the modern crowd. I understand that, to which, yeah, I guess it's pretty much no doubt in my mind, of course, on that front. I do think this is actually the best route to go for sure. So yeah, if they want to do that, then that's great for sure. So yeah, I think it's safe to say we do live in an age that we're still in the phase where, of course, all Hollywood does nowadays in terms of movies is, of course, put out nothing but reboots and remakes and sequels and adaptations of course, some well-known IPs over the years, with, of course, very little original ideas actually popping up for sure, and yeah, I guess it's pretty much still sad to say that for sure, but hey, I know a lot of you guys wish that they would just stop altogether. Then, well, if they did actually stop, then what else are you left with for sure? Kind of my point from what I can gather entirely, So yeah, and of course, pretty much of anything, movies based on Broadway musicals have come a long way for sure. Some are still loved and praised even to this day, while others are, of course, pretty much terrible and just forgotten for sure. And again, I think my point still stands with, of course, what I've actually said by far. I do think there is a whole lot of potential, and of course, this movie actually being good for sure, and of course, like I said, John M. Chu, who is, of course, directing this film for sure, has actually done an incredible job with In the Heights, and even to this day, the movie itself is still actually really fun to watch for sure, and not only selling well as a movie on its own, but also staying true to the original Broadway musical of the same name, which I do think is actually the best route to go for. So yeah, and of course, I think I know it's kind of hard to say, of course, that front, because if anything, given to the status of course, movie musicals as of now, Universal has been struggling to recapture the same amount of success they had with, of course, well over 12 years ago, actually, when they released Les Miserables for sure, to which, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I still think Les Miserables is, of course, a really good movie they put out. Though I think we can all agree Russell Crowe as Javert is just absolutely terrible for sure. But I'm pretty sure they still had a lot to recover for sure, especially with, of course, Dear Evan Hansen that we got beforehand, which I still thought was okay. And, of course, not to mention the movie that came before that, Cats. I don't need to go through explaining on that movie again. Just look at what they fucking did to that. Ew. Just ew. So, but yeah, I guess needless to say, I do hope Universal might actually bounce back for sure and actually give us a movie based on a Broadway musical that would actually be really good for sure. And luckily enough, with what we got with the latest trailer for Wicked, maybe I think that it would be that same movie for sure. So yeah. But I know exactly what you might be thinking. How can I think that I think something is going to be absolutely amazing and fun to watch as a Wicked, and not the same thing for of course Twisters based on their trailers alone? Well, that's because for the case of Twisters, based on, of course, what I've actually seen by far, I really like some of the nice and unique new ideas they want to throw into it for sure, as well as, of course, the special effects actually do look great for sure. But all I'm going to be getting by far is nothing but the original Twister, but even more as bland and repetitive as, of course, pretty much as the original Twister for sure, but without Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt arguing with each other. Yeah, I think you can pretty much get the idea, of course, that front. But yeah, I guess it's what I could say short, sweet, and to the point of Twisters again, and trust me when I say pretty much yeah, my point still stands. I really don't have high hopes for Twisters. I mean, come on, Jelly Toy Productions, if you are by any chance watching this, hear me out, of course, this one. You're actually really excited for Twisters, but not Wicked? Seriously? How could you pretty much ignore Wicked and actually have high hopes for Twisters? I mean, do you really think you would be excited for, that you think you would not be excited for Wicked? Well, be excited for Wicked anyway, so yeah. I think that's what I could say, of course, on that front for sure. And again, I guess for the case of Wicked, I do think there's a whole lot of potential in actually making this look good for sure. And of course, for the people who think it's going to be terrible for sure, I mean, come on. Were you really going to be asking for, let's say, a sequel to Gladiator, or maybe, or again, not just Twisters, but also maybe a prequel to the live-action Lion King remake, or even Kraven the Hunter? Is that what all of you guys are asking for instead of Wicked? Kind of my point, actually, So yeah, my point is that we just only have several trailers for now, and of course we won't know exactly whether or not it's going to be good or not right up until the film actually comes out, and yeah, and I think it is, of course, pretty much we're still living in a society where we want things to stay the same for sure. Well, I'm sorry, but the dreaded word change needs to happen in order for all of us to keep on going. So as much as I love to see something that would actually resemble the Broadway musical for sure, or yeah, which I know this movie is actually going to deliver on for sure, but also see the original cast come back to of course be part of this one. Well, I guess I'll give it to their age and their current status as of right now, especially with, of course, Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, who actually first started making the show where it is right now. I think give it to their current status as we speak, it'll be on the verge of a, well, kinda can't work category, so yeah. I guess needless to say, and don't even bother asking for like a pro shot of the musical to replace the movie for sure, because yeah, I think chances are, as cool as it is for sure, I think you're better off actually experiencing the actual musical live for sure. So yeah, my point still stands. I really do think there is a whole lot of potential, and of course, pretty much this movie for sure. And yeah, I think it might actually deliver on something really good for sure. So yeah, and again, this is of course going to be the first of a two-parter as we speak, with of course part 1, as we're calling it, set to come out this Thanksgiving for sure, with part 2 slated to come out pretty much right around the following year for sure. And I know a lot of you guys are actually complaining about pretty much Wicked being split into 2 parts for sure, but bear this thing in mind, do all of you have the same complaints on, let's say, the recent Doom movies being split into 2 parts? No, not at all. They're actually really great movies by far, and they're definitely well worth the watch for sure. And trust me, I actually got to experience both parts for sure, and they're a ton of fun to watch for sure. So, and based on, of course, what I've actually learned by far, if they didn't split the movie into 2 parts, then I think we would have been mega with, of course, an over 5-hour-long running time. So yeah, if you guys actually are complaining about Wicked being split into 2 parts, then I think you would have gotten a well over 5-hour-long movie. I mean, do you really want something to be split into 2 parts for, of course, this movie? Or do you want to see something that will make Andy Warhol rise from the dead? Yeah, do you know actually the Andy Warhol movie Empire? Pretty much all it is an 8-hour-long movie that is nothing but a shot of the Empire State Building. Yeah, so again, kind of my point actually for sure. So yeah, I guess I'd give it to all that for sure. That still doesn't change my mind, of course, pretty much on how I felt, of course, what we're going to be in for with, of course, Wicked for sure. Yeah, as much as I still really love the Broadway show back then, I'm actually really excited to see on what the movie is, of course, going to be offering for sure. So it's going to be hard to say on whether or not it's going to be good or not. But as long as, of course, it'll give us something that'll actually be quite interesting, then I say this is definitely well worth taking a trip to the land of Oz for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, if you want to check out the trailer for yourself that just came out not too long ago, then by all means, go ahead and check it out for sure. It's actually well worth the watch for sure. And who knows, if it actually does deliver on something really good, then I'm actually all for it for sure. Oh yeah, by the way, I almost forgot to mention, around the same time, they actually did release a video saying that they were accepting applications, of course, pretty much the university that had both the musical and this movie is going to be taking place in Shiz University with, of course, a really nice, nice little, pretty much, with, of course, a nice glimpse of Michelle Yeoh as Madame Morrible for sure. So I think it'll be quite interesting to see how it'll go. And he actually does make a really good promo video for sure. That is definitely well worth the watch for sure. So yeah. But needless to say, I guess regardless, of course, what I have to say, I'm still looking forward to, of course, seeing this movie for sure. So hopefully by the time once it comes out this Thanksgiving, I'm just going to go into it and I'm going to enjoy it for what it is, because I love Wicked for sure, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do for, of course, this one, and part of me still wants to feel a little optimistic towards it, so we'll have to definitely wait and see, of course, that front. So yeah, whatever the case may be, pretty much by the time this movie comes out, hopefully, just hopefully, they might actually give us something that'll make us want to defy gravity. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright, so I guess on that thought, that'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and by all means, let me know in the comment section below on, of course, how you felt about the latest trailer that we got for Wicked, and of course, what do you think for sure? Are you really excited for it, or do you think it's going to be a complete letdown and you might skip it? Let me know what you guys think. I would definitely love to know for sure. So So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and wow, I'm glad to see I finally got that off my chest for sure. So yeah, now that I actually got that done, I think it's about time that I get myself back into pretty much making proper videos as normal now that I finally got this off my chest for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can see, of course, that front. But until that comes around, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackley4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.